Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at news from our city, state, and country. We take a look at your questions, ideas, and suggestions, your comments. We combine all this information and put it to good use as a community of English speaking locals living here in Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco. Today is Tuesday, November 7, and it is a pleasure to get together with you, and particularly with those of you that are watching live for the first time. If that is your case, feel free to let us know by writing the word new in your comment, and we'll be so very happy to give you a nice little welcome. Of course, for everybody else, and for those of you that watch the broadcast later on in the day on YouTube, welcome. It is a pleasure to have you here. Please remember to follow us and subscribe as you're watching the video on YouTube, because it helps a lot for us to be able to spread our word of connecting with one another. Larcito. Of course, my nails are clean. It's my nose that I worry about. But no, my nails are clean during my intro section. I love making my jazz hands. I don't know why, but hey, it's part of the fun. Anyhow, also, of course, as always, if you have something really important that you wish to share with us during the broadcast and you don't want anyone to miss it, it helps a great deal if you add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment. That way we can find those comments later on in the broadcast. Today, it's a warm day in my apartment because the crock pot, the slow cooker, is going at it. I am cooking some flank steak so that I can make some shredded beef tacos later on today. So there. Okay, so let's get started. We have a bunch of news and some interesting things that I want to share with you. And we start with this. The city has concluded the Day of the Dead celebrations after 10 days of events at the Malecón and other locations throughout the city. Not only did Puerto Vallarta achieve another Guinness World Record for the tallest Catrina for the second year in a row, the offerings seem to extend more days than ever before, consolidating the celebration as yet another magnet for tourism during the fall season. Now, can you guess how tall the nativity figures will be when they install them at the Malecón for Christmas? Neither can I. No, in all seriousness, it does seem like this year Day of the Dead celebrations or Day of the Dead related stuff went on around the city longer than usual or longer than before, and it seems to have worked very well for the city, and we hope that this is a good message for the city to consider and for delivering even more quality events in the following year. My question to you is, did you enjoy yourselves. Did you go out and do the Day of the Dead things? Were you surprised? Did the offerings meet your expectations? And if not, why not? And if they did, please feel free to share what was particularly special for you this year. We'll take a look at your comments later on. Not like it's not like we're going to send a message or a letter to the city, but I'm always curious to see how much of what's going on people actually get to when it's going on. Moving right along, well, Governor Alfaro delivered yesterday his fifth and final State of the State address in Guadalajara as he begins the end of his tenure as governor of Jalisco. During his speech, he showcased many of the accomplishments achieved throughout the state during his tenure, including Puerto Vallarta's El Salado estuary improvements, among others. Governor Alfaro has made it clear that he will not pursue a political career after his term is over in 1 year. Now, this one made me think a little bit about the visa thing, because Mexico is a very popular tourist destination around the world, and as far as I know, the vast majority of visitors can enter our country by simply traveling with a passport. But this morning, I've learned that back in August of 22, the Mexican government modified visa requirements, making it mandatory for travelers from certain Latin American countries and from elsewhere in the world to show up with a visa. And this was done in order to strengthen national security and to control migrant flow. So starting on October 7 of this year, there is a list of countries in which travelers are expected to have a Mexican visa upon arrival. And what caught me by surprise was the fact that Canada is in that list. Who knew? I mean, is this news to you, Canadian friends, or not? Is the Mexican visa the stamp that they put on your passport that indicates that you can stay here a maximum of 180 days? Is this news to you, or did you already know and I didn't get the memo because, hey, I don't need a Mexican visa to come into my own country? But do tell me, what is your visa experience if you are from Canada, if you received any kind of memo or whatever has changed for you this year upon entering Mexico. And on national news, President López Obrador has announced that tickets for the Maya train will go on sale on December 1st. And the cost of traveling on the train will be approximately an average of 10% less expensive than taking the bus. So we want to take the train, not the bus. That's what the government wants. And this, of course, is considering the fact that only one stretch of the train line will actually be ready for operation in December, the one from Campeche to Cancun, which will be inaugurated on December 15. The stretch from Cancun to Palenque will be inaugurated on December 31st, and it will not be until February 29 of next year that the rest of the project will be inaugurated. So, if you are getting all excited about taking the Maya train, it's almost there, but even though the government has announced that it will be ready in December, it will not be ready until later on next year. So hold your horses if you want to do the whole thing, and if you just want to do a little bit to check it out, you know what to do and you know where to go. Now, speaking of going, let's go over to our weather forecast to see what's going on there. Oh, that cloud looks like you posing as one of Leonardo DiCaprio's French girls. Well, I don't look like a French girl, so it must not be referring to me. It is 29 degrees right now. Humidity is in the 50s. 58% humidity. That's good news. And our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 84. Our weather forecast indicates humid with mostly cloudy skies throughout the day, a high of 32 and a low of 23. Tomorrow, humid with clear skies throughout the day, a high of 31 and a low of 24. And then Thursday, another humid day with mostly cloudy skies throughout the day, a high of 31 and a low of 24. Personally, I like the lows of 23 and 24 because that is my perfect sleeping temperature. I don't know about you, friends, but I have been sleeping so well in the last few days, it's not even funny. Moving right along, I do have a couple of other things that I wish to show you. Let me just set them up. And this first thing has to do with Teatro Sin Borders, the new community theater company here in town that has been struggling for a couple of years to get a project going. I know this because my friend from Boston is in charge of this project. And Sandy, she first arrived getting all excited about doing theater in town, and then the pandemic came, and long story short, they're finally opening their production of Lend Me a Tenor. It is opening in a couple of days. It's going to be performing at the American School in Marina Vallarta. And of course, I will leave you with the Facebook event in the show notes in case you want to go check out this play. And this, of course, is just for silly fun. We gotta love our friend. Well, she's not my friend, but Adele. Well, she could be my friend. I mean, look at her Dr. Simi collection. For those of you for whom it doesn't make sense, hold on, where is he? Oh, come here. Here's my Dr. Simi. Now, I have a Dr. Simi because I love Dr. Simi, not because I went on stage and it was thrown at me. And it seems to be a common habit for Mexican concert goers to bring stuffed Dr. Simis to their concert of choice and throw them at the performers. Some performers don't think kindly of this and have actually kicked the stuffed toys back onto the audience. But Adele seems pretty keen on holding on to her collection of Dr. Simis. But there you have it. I just thought you should know. And of course, in case you haven't heard me, today is our opera introduction presentation this afternoon at 5 o'clock. If you want to learn why opera matters and be convinced to go, you want to take a look at this afternoon's presentation. And of course, a second opportunity to gather through music this week will be on Thursday. Great jazz vocalist of the 20th century is the presentation that I'm going to do on Thursday. Somebody asked me why 20th century, and I said, well, because I'm getting old and I'm not keeping track of some of the new fancy singers that we got. But yes, there's plenty of amazing vocalists from the 20th century that we can take a look at, and that's exactly what we're going to do. And now we're going to take a look at your comments just to see what you guys are up to. And let's see what we got. I see lots of good mornings, which I appreciate as always. And boom, 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 boom. There's a cue. Oh, please, Paco, tell us how you make your recipe in the slow cooker. I just buy flank steak, and I add salt and Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of liquid smoke and a little bit of pepper, and I just whoosh it in the slow cooker, and then I cover it with a jar of green salsa, and then I add a little bit of extra water. I put it in the slow cooker, and then 4 hours later I take the meat out, I shred it, put it back in the sauce or in the broth, and then just use it. Sometimes I make tacos, sometimes I add potatoes, and sometimes I stir fry the meat a little bit so that it's got more flavor. The possibilities are endless, and that's how I go about it. Let's see what else. Da 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 da. I'm sorry to hear that, Jimmy. No Day of the Dead festivities. Well, I hope you are recovering. That's very important that you take care of your health, of course. Let's see. Pat says she loved the festivities. That is good to know. Missed two parades due to an unhappy gut. The fireworks were a nice wrap up. That's wonderful. I was not able to go to a lot of things this year, but I saw so many wonderful photographs. I wish I had had the opportunity to go to the parade. Yes, I see the spam, my dears. Don't worry. Don't worry. Just don't act on the spam, please. There's a cue from Evan. I've Googled but can't find anything online for Canadians needing a visa. Do you have a source I could look at? Thanks. Well, I am going to share the news item that I saw this morning, but above and beyond that, you would want to look at the website for the Foreign Affairs Ministry or whatever website you look at to find out visa requirements for Mexico. I don't have it handy, but I'm sure it can be found through Google. Let's see. If anyone likes Fleetwood Mac, the Eagles, go to the Palm Cabaret on Sundays at 6 p.m. Lots. The group Monaco is performing. They're totally fantastic. You know, I kind of want to go to that, Sal, but you know what is great? Well, should I jinx this? Okay. No, it's not jinxing. My only wish for that tribute show, one of the biggest features of the Eagles is their amazingly tight vocals. And it takes 2-3 people to do vocals the way the Eagles do vocals. So I only hope that this tribute show honors that trademark sound from the Eagles. And that's just me. Let's see what else. Sheila enjoyed the many Katrinas on the Malecon and the painted faces and costumes that people wear. So much creativity. That is good. That is good to know. Evan adds, I just wanted to make sure there's a link. Evan, I am sure there's got to be a link in some official website. It's just a matter of finding it. Chris asks, where did you purchase your slow cooker? Good question. I think it was a Costco purchase some time ago before they invented the Instapot and all that stuff. Like mine is an old-fashioned, no-frills slow cooker. I wanted to get an oval, larger sized one because they have generally better temperature control than the round ones. So I've had it for years and I love it because it has high, medium, and low and so forth and so on. And that's my slow cooker. And Sherry says, yum, thanks, Paco, sounds delicious. You know, I love my salsa verdes and I put it on everything. Like when I'm making chicken, I just pour salsa verdes over the chicken and stuff like that. It's very easy to have something tasty prepared very quickly. And this, my friends, I think brings us to the end of today's broadcast. As always, it is a pleasure to connect with you. And I hope I get to see some of you this afternoon at the opera presentation. And if not, I won't hold it against you. I hope to see you sometime in the near future. In between now and then, I hope you have an excellent day today. Stay kind, stay safe, and most importantly, stay in touch. Take care.